Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the time that I got into a freaking car accident. Like, I could have died. It didn't happen like recently. It happened December 2014, so like 2-3 years, almost 3 years ago. So, I was in Irvine, California, which is, for those of you who don't know, that's like Southern California. And I was driving up to my parents in Northern California. So the drive was going to be like, it's like a 6 to almost 7 hour drive. So the day before, I remember that I was like really tired, but I like wanted to say goodbye to my friends that I had made in college. This was my first year like being at UC Irvine, the college that I graduated from. So I was saying goodbye to all of my friends, and it was maybe like 11 p.m. at night, and I couldn't sleep. And I like I hung out with my friend Nasser, who also has a YouTube channel. I'll put his link down below, but maybe you'll meet him some other time. But it's not an important part of the story. But anyway, so yeah, I was like hanging out with him, and it was like, I think it was like 11 p.m. at night, the night before. And we went for a walk, and it was pretty nice. And I told him, I was like, wow, I can't sleep. Like, I have to go, you know, I have to drive tomorrow. I was planning to drive like 6 a.m. the next day so I could get home like pretty early. So it turned out like midnight and I couldn't sleep. And I remember I was like, maybe if I just close my eyes and rest, I'll be fine. The next day, I ended up waking up at like 5 in the morning, and I was like, you know, I'm ready. Like, everything was already packed. So I left my house at 5 in the morning. And mind you, I didn't really sleep the night before. So maybe I had like 1 or 2 hours of sleep in me. I know you're already thinking, Fausto, this is not a good idea. But you know, I wasn't thinking at the time. I just wanted to get back home. Like, it was gonna be like the holidays. So I was excited to just drive home and like get the drive over with, because it's a long drive and I was gonna be by myself. It was 5 in the morning and I left my house. And I started driving, and you know, the drive was fine. I was listening to some music. Like, when I do these road trips, I like to sing really loud to myself, because you know, it's what you do in a road trip, especially if you're by yourself. You need to, you know, keep awake. But anyway, so I drove, and I needed 1 hour to get back home. Literally, I needed 1 more hour. I had been already driving for like almost 6 hours, and I just needed 1 more hour. And I was feeling really tired. Like, I was kind of like dozing off, and so I pulled over at a gas station, and I bought some water and some chips just to like munch on, so that I would, like, I don't know, keep myself busy, I guess, as much as you can keep yourself busy while driving. So I bought the water and the chips, and I went on, and I was like, okay, I'm almost there, Fausto, you can do this. So I literally start like falling asleep, and I was like, oh my gosh, this, like, stop, like, this is so dangerous. So what I thought was a good idea to do then, instead of pulling over and, you know, finding a rest stop or just, you know, taking a little nap somewhere, I decided to get a freaking cold, like, the water bottle that I had bought at the gas station. It was really cold. So what I decided to do, and what I thought it would be a good idea, was to pour the water all over myself. So I literally got the bottle of water, and I just poured it on myself, like, while I was driving. I know, you're probably like, what were you thinking? So, you know, I was like, that's gonna wake me up. So I did that, and there was literally like water all over my shirt. And I was like, you know, it's fine, like, no one's gonna see this. The point is, you want to get home. So, like, I literally had water all over my shirt. But I was like, Fausto, you're almost there. You need like 45 minutes left. Like, you can do this. And y'all, out of nowhere, honestly, I don't remember this moment. But all I remember was like, wow, I'm really, like, thinking to myself, I'm really tired, like, but I'm almost there. And then, like, literally the next moment, I wake up in the middle of so this is like a freeway, right? But the two ways is, like, the opposite way is divided by just literally grass, like a patch of, like a road of grass. Like, that's all that separates, like the opposite sides of the freeway. And so I woke up in the grass, like, I opened my eyes and I was driving in the middle of the grass. Like, I freaked out, and I saw my car going to the opposite side of the freeway, like to oncoming like traffic, and it's the freeway, so they're driving super fast. And I like, my first instinct was to brake, so I like pushed the brake really like hard and fast, and my car flipped over, y'all, like 2 times. And I remember I like, when it was like turning and I was like going all over the place, I was like, this is it, like this, it was, y'all, like I can't explain like what I felt at that time. I was just so scared. I was like, oh my gosh, like I was just in shock, you know, I was in shock. And my car ended up like, how can I show you this? So like, pretend this is the car, right? And this is how I drive it. Wow. The car like flipped over and it went like, and it ended up like this. So this is the car on all fours, and it ended up on one side. Like, I don't know how to show it, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. I ended up at the bottom, like at the floor, and the other side of the car was up. I hope this makes sense. But then it just happened so fast, and I was like, I remember I like kind of hurt myself, but I didn't, like, I was just like, I laid there for like a few, like maybe like 30 seconds, and I was like, what just happened? And y'all, y'all, like the first thing in my mind was, oh crap, is my laptop okay? I know it's so bad. It's so bad, but that's literally, I don't, like I spent a lot of money. Like I had just gotten like a MacBook Pro, and I spent like $2,000 on it, and I was like, oh no, my laptop. But then I was like, Fausto, you have a lot more things to worry about right now. And I was like, no, like, is my car ruined? And then I was like, okay, like, you need to get out of this car. So I start, like, my seatbelt was, like, kind of stuck. And then I struggled with it, and then I got it off. And then I had to, like, climb up to get out of the car. And I'm a heavy guy. So I was, like, really scared. I was like, crap, is this gonna, like, is this gonna, like, you know, flip over? Because of my weight and stuff. So I start climbing up the car, and there's these people that I guess saw it happen, and they pulled over to help me out. And I got to the top of the car, and I was like standing on the door, right? This is the car, this is me, this is the door. So the door was, I had to open the door, this was the door, and then literally like people helped me like jump off. And my car was like just there, and I was like, what the freak? Like, I can't believe that just happened. And so then the paramedics came, and they checked me, and they're like, are you okay? And I was like, I think so, because I didn't feel any pain. Like, I kind of hurt, like, I kind of, like, hit my head a little bit. Like, but, I mean, that's happened when I, like, fall or something like that. So I didn't think too much of it. Like, it didn't hurt at the moment. When the paramedics came, so I was, like, in the ambulance, and they were like, are you okay? Like, do you have any cuts? And I didn't have any cuts that I was aware of at all. And I ended up not having any cuts or anything. But the freaking paramedics were like, dude, like, they were like these younger paramedics. And they're like, dude, honestly, if you wouldn't have been in that car, you probably would have, like, if you would have had another car, you probably would have died. And they were saying, because, like, I had, at the time, the car I was driving was like it was a BMW, and BMWs, like, are built really well, honestly. And honestly, if it would have been any other car, like, if it would have been the car I have now, honestly, like, I would have been seriously injured, or I could have died. So the car, like, was so strong, and it literally protected me from, like, having anything serious happen. But yeah, I was, like, really scared, and the paramedics were like, dude, if it wasn't for your BMW, you probably would have died. And I was like, thank you for telling me that. So yeah, so then they left. I was like, they were like, do you need to go to the hospital? And I was like, I don't think so. I think I felt fine. I was like, but I don't know if, like, there's any, like, shock. So I don't know if, like, if I was, like, in shock and that's why I didn't feel any pain or anything. But basically they just let me go. They're like, okay, I think you're good, whatever. So they left, and then my car was still like in the middle of, like, the freaking freeway, and it was like a hazard because I guess, like, oncoming traffic coming from both sides could get distracted by the fact that there's, like, a car literally, like, just destroyed in the middle of the freeway. So I didn't like know my insurance because it was in the car, but I couldn't get to the car because the car was like flipped. So I didn't know what to do, and then the police officer was like, well, you need to like, this car needs to get out of the freeway. And I was like, well, he called the tow truck, which I had to pay for, or well, my dad paid for it actually. Thank you, Dad. But yeah, so like it cost like $400 to move it like maybe half a mile to like this like place where the towing truck places were. So then I was literally in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, I can't believe this just happened to me. Like, I literally wrecked my car. And I'm going to show you some pictures right here on the screen right now. So yeah, so that's pretty much the car. And it doesn't look like it's too messed up, to be honest with you. But, y'all, the car was totaled. Like, if it would have been any other car, like, it would have been like smashed, because it was 2 flips in the air. I remember going like 1, 2, and like I was like freaking out. But yeah, so thankfully like I had that car, and it like saved my life, honestly. So yeah, like I was in the middle of nowhere, and then my parents came to get me. It took them forever because I was like an hour away, so they were like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I just need to get picked up because I don't have a car now. They had to tow my car. My dad was like, oh my gosh, blah blah blah. So they came to pick me up. Like, I was just sitting there like at a gas station, like in the middle of freaking nowhere. And they picked up the car, and they were like, yeah, it's totaled. Like, they checked it. My uncle's like he works in a body shop, but also like knows mechanics, and like the way the car hit, like the motor was just like completely done for. So the car was total. Like, we put it in a junkyard. But yeah, that's pretty. And then the next day, like my parents got me the car that I kind of have now. Like, they were like, oh well, you need a car to get back, so they got me a car literally the next day. Or literally like right after the car accident, we drove straight to the car that they were gonna get me next. So I'm really thankful for that they got me a car. But guess what, y'all? The car that they got me, literally on the thing it says higher rollover risk. I was like, are you kidding me? Are they joking? They got me a car that has a higher rollover risk, even though I have like freaking post-traumatic PTSD from like this accident that I have. But you know, they got me a car, and I'm thankful for that. But yeah, y'all, that it happened to me. I'm so thankful that I did not get seriously hurt, and I've been fine. But I think it was one of the scariest things that has ever happened to me. So if you have had any scary things or trippy things happen to you like that, please let me know in the comments below. I want to hear all your stories. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it and subscribe if you haven't already. If you do like this type of video, let me know so I can make more. I have a lot of stuff that has happened to me, so I can make more story times. And if you don't like this story time segment that I am trying to do, also let me know, because I want to know what my audience, like the people who are actually watching me, like what they want to see. If you want to just see weight loss stuff, then I guess I can cater to that. But right now, like I like doing story times too. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye.